das ist auch ein bisschen Pain, war. Nee, jetzt bin ich verwirrt. Lassen wir es. Was? Dann komm rum hier. Ach so. Ja. Okay, ich versuche es natürlich wieder mit meinen absoluten Übersetzungskünsten. Ne? Wir wissen, Übersetzung und ich sind nicht so. Aber wer mich nicht versteht, der kann auch einfach auf Englisch mitlesen, ne? Was da steht. Das habe ich mitbekommen. Ist der denn gemeint? Sie meinte doch vor ein paar Tagen. Ja, ja, klar. Ich habe ja auch vor ein paar Tagen das letzte Mal gestreamt. Hä? Ich bin ein bisschen abgelenkt, spiele nebenbei noch Genshin. Ja, dann spiel mal weiter. Ich glaube, sie verbraucht eher Watt, als dass sie Watt macht. Ach ja, okay. So. Ich war schon ein paar Monate im Marchen und habe es noch immer nicht hinbekommen, eine einzige gute Tat zu vollbringen. Heute bin ich mit Waltz in die Stadt gegangen, um Zutaten für Parfait zu kaufen. Wir beide waren ziemlich ruhig, was auch ziemlich uncharakteristisch für Waltz ist. Prinzessin? Was? Hat Karma erklärt, warum er halt nicht mit dir gegangen ist? Oh, 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 oh. Oh. So. Hat anscheinend nicht. Prinzessin? Mag Waltz meine Gesellschaft nicht? Warum fragt er... was? Achso. Ist das der Grund, warum er fragt, warum er Karma im Prinzip ersetzt? Er sagte, er war müde. Er sei müde. Oh. Er drehte seinen Kopf und zuckte seine Augenbrauen in Verwirrung. Die Stadt fühlt sich heute anders an. Tut sie? Es fühlt sich an, als würden die Leute uns beobachten. Ja, und woher weißt du das? Beziehungsweise wie? Wie funktioniert das? Ja, mit Übung. Ich habe viele Augen, die auf mich gerichtet sind, wenn ich meine Puppenshow mache. Und auch davor war ich es gewöhnt, beobachtet zu werden, denke ich. Ich brauche mal schnell eine Farbentscheidung. Danach gehe ich in den Halbdruck. Pastellgelb, Pastellorange, grelles Gelb oder Pastellrosa. Pastellgelb. Pastellgelb oder Pastellorange. Die zwei finde ich schön. Ich lag im Bett und wartete, bis die Teststation offen. Achso. Bevor du verflucht wurdest? Wieso? Conspicuous? Was bedeutet conspicuous? Wie kann ich das übersetzen? Dann orange oder gelb? Gelb. Gelb. Ich mag gelb. Conspicuous. Auffällig. Okay. Ich denke, ich war mehr auffälliger als ein Erwachsener. Ein Erwachsener. Stimmt. Niemalsland? Hieß es so? Nimmerland? War es das Nimmerland? mein Gott, ich und meine Kenntnisse. Das ist, wenn man so lange Nimmerland. Etwa Nimmerland. Herzlich willkommen bei Jennys Englischunterricht. So, es ist ja nicht so, dass ich schlecht in Englisch bin, ja? Aber so manche Begriffe hat man einfach nicht genutzt. Ich habe nur in der Schule Englisch gehabt, ne? So an sich, ich kenne viele Begriffe, aber ich kann die nicht so aus dem Stand heraus einfach so übersetzen mit, boah, das ist auf jeden Fall diese Übersetzung. Ich mache das eher mehr aus Gefühl. So. Und Leo wahrscheinlich. Vielen, vielen Dank für dein Follow und herzlich willkommen. Es ist ja nicht so, dass ich schlecht in Englisch bin, aber ja, das Aber zählt nicht. Das Aber habe ich nicht gesagt. Du hast den Nimmerland-Fluch. So. Ach, du erinnerst dich. Ja, ich habe den Nimmerland-Fluch. Ich habe dir das einmal in der Taverne erzählt. Du steckst im Körper eines Kindes fest, auch wenn du jetzt ein Mann sein solltest. My English isn't the best one, but if you have some problems, ask me. Niemandsland, was? Joa, ich habe das Gefühl, dass Stream Elements nicht so ganz funktioniert. Ja, das muss ich noch... Okay, das mache ich nachher. Jetzt gerade nicht. Hilfe, kannst du mir eine Info schreiben, dass ich das mit dem Lurk fixen muss? Ja. Richtig. Es ist etwas unpassend, aber ich habe mich dran gewöhnt. Waltz ist so viel direkter als Karma betreffend des Fluches. Wir beide gingen in einen Laden, wo wir kleine Tassen fanden, die Parfait uns gebeten hat zu kaufen. Nachdem ich gezahlt habe, hat Waltz automatisch die Tüten, Taschen in die Hand genommen. Seine Hilfe ist zur Abwechslung ziemlich nett. Und herzlich willkommen im Chat jetzt. Wie geht's dir? Ich heiße tatsächlich Leox. Okay, dann sage ich Leox. Dann mache ich das so. Ich habe mich ziemlich daran gewöhnt, die Taschen selbst zu tragen. Und hast du irgendeinen Fortschritt gemacht mit deinen guten Taten? Wie du meine Kette sehen kannst, habe ich es nicht. Aber du hast dich verändert. Ich sehe es immer noch nicht, wie ich mich verändert haben sollte. Ich hoffe, euch geht's gut und habt Weihnachten gut überstanden. Ja, auf jeden Fall. Karma hat mir nicht ein bisschen darüber beigebracht, wie man gute Taten vollbringen kann. Manchmal, um was Gutes zu tun, musst du auch erstmal realisieren, musst du erstmal ein paar Dinge über dich selbst kennenlernen, so. Sagen wir es so. Vielleicht ist Karma nicht wirklich der Beste, um dir darin zu helfen. Ja, wahrscheinlich, weil er selbst Sachen von sich selbst nicht realisiert. Er ist egoistisch. Was ist das? Extravagant und verhält sich manchmal, als würde die Welt nur um ihn herum Achso, als sei er die Welt. So kann man es auch schön sagen. Michael, Hallöchen. Wie geht's dir? Ich mag lieber Vanille im Latte Macchiato. Was? Hä? Woher kommt das denn? Aber er ist trotzdem dein Partner. Partner in Crime. Ja, das stimmt schon. Mir geht's gut, das freut mich. Ich finde Kamas Gesellschaft okay. Schan? Was ist das denn? Guck mal, das sind Wörter, die habe ich noch nie in meinem Leben gehört. Oh nee, nicht schon. Schon. Meiden. Die meisten Menschen verurteilen mich und meiden mich. Aber Kama hat es eben nicht getan. Er hat sogar gesagt, dass er meine Gesellschaft genießt. Deswegen bin ich toleranter geworden. Oh, Prinzessin! Walls Augen leuchten auf. Und ich sehe ihn auf eine Menschenmenge hinzeigen. Was? Eine Frau stand in der Mitte und hat den Leuten ihre Zukunft vorhergesagt. Wir sollten dahin gehen und schauen, ob unsere Zukunft auch vorhergesagt werden kann. Los, komm! Die Menschenmenge um die Frau herum wurde immer größer und nahm etwa die Hälfte des Plazas ein. Ich selbst wurde umhergeschubst, als ich versuchte, Walls zu folgen. Die Menschenmenge ist ziemlich dicht und wie heißt das? Im Wimpernschlag habe ich ihn verloren, so. Mann. Walls. Ich rufe nach ihm, aber ich sehe ihn nicht unter diesen Dutzend von Menschen. Wegen der Dutzend Menschen vor mir, so. Dann werde ich wohl auf ihn warten, außerhalb der Menschenmenge. Er sollte schon in der Lage sein, mich zu finden. Ich machte mich auf den Weg nach draußen, so aus der Menschenmenge heraus. Und und gehe zu den Rändern, zum Rande des Weges. Aber Walls schien immer noch nicht herauszukommen aus dieser Menge. 10 Minuten sind vergangen und ich entschied mich, zurück in die Meute zu gehen, als ich eine Stimme hinter mir hörte. Suchst du nach jemandem, Madame? Oh, es wird gruselig. Es wird sneaky. Was passiert jetzt wohl? Ich fühlte jemanden meine Hand nehmen. Ich fühlte, wie jemand meine Hand nahm. Ich schlug sie zurück und ging ein paar Schritte zurück. Als ich mich umdrehte, sah ich einen Mann hinter mir stehen. Oh, ich wollte dich nicht erschrecken. Was möchtest du? Hä? Ihr lest das gerade auch, oder? Normalerweise dürfte sich doch gar keiner an sie erinnern. Ich möchte dir helfen, in den Palast zurückzukehren, Prinzessin Jenka. Normalerweise dürfte sich doch keiner erinnern. Also außer die auch verflucht sind. So. Ich hau mich mal in den Supporter-Lurk. Hab noch Papierkram zu erledigen bis Januar, bevor die nächsten Feiertage erscheinen. Liebe geht raus an euch. Vielen, vielen Dank für deinen Lurk. Und lass dich nicht stressen, dieser leere Blick. Ja, oh mein Gott, was sollen die sonst machen? Du weißt, wer ich bin? Das tue ich, Prinzessin, und ich kann dich zurück in den Palast bringen. Wer bist du? Jemand, der für den König arbeitet. Der ist mir ein bisschen suspekt. Aber der König erinnert sich nicht an mich. Die einzigen Leute, die sich an mich erinnern, sind Hexen, Feen und die, die selbst verflucht sind. Wer zum Teufel ist dieser Mann? Du lügst. Prinzessin, wieso würde ich jemals lügen? Beziehungsweise, wieso würde ich dich jemals anlügen? Jetzt komm. Ich bin mir sicher, im Palast würden alle glücklich sein, dich zu sehen. Über dieses so und diese Ausrufezeichen. Der Mann packte meine Hand ziemlich rough. Und er fängt an, was? Und er begann mich durch die Straße zu ziehen. Grob, danke, Selvi. Das Erste, was ich versuchte zu tun, ist zu schreien, aber ja klar, okay. Aber der Mann packte seine freie Hand über meinen Mund. Also verdeckte den Mund, damit nichts schreien kann. Die Menschenmenge bitte, kann ich heute übersetzen? Please. Ich habe gerade noch einen Glückskeks gegessen. Amüsierlaune. Es kann eine heiße Nacht werden. Ich verrecke. Ja, Sylvie. Amüsierlaune, ne? Die Menschenmenge entfernte sich immer weiter von uns. Ey, ich war vorher. Ich habe es vorher gesagt, okay? Und niemand kann uns mehr in den Schatten der Straßen, der Gassen sehen. Gasse, Alleyways, Gasse, ne? So, I'm so sorry, aber Prinzessin, ich schwöre, ich bringe dich zurück in den Palast. So, aber weil wir uns daran erinnern und versuchen zu bessern, würde ich einfach sagen, heißt damals im Mittelalter, diese Kerzen, dass wir einfach zurückschlagen, also nicht zurückschlagen, aber uns wehren, weil noch sind wir in der Nähe der Menschenmenge. Das heißt, wir könnten im Prinzip daraus die Chance sehen, in die Menschenmenge zu flüchten, und dann kann er uns ja nicht mehr rausziehen, ohne dass jemand anderes das so sieht. So. Ich muss zurückschlagen. Würde ich auch machen, ja. Vielleicht... Ja, genau so, das habe ich gerade eben gesagt. Vielleicht schaffe ich es so, die Aufmerksamkeit der anderen auf mich zu ziehen. Also natürlich im positiven Sinne, ne, für sie. Ich versuchte, mich aus den Fängen des Mannes zu befreien, aber es funktionierte nicht. Er schmunzelte nur leicht. Achso. Er schmunzelte nur leicht, bevor ich ihm meinen Ellenbogen in den Magen rammte. Das ist doch schön formuliert. Für ein paar Momente der Freiheit versuchte ich zu laufen. Aber gleich darauf packte er mich wieder und... Was? Achso, packte er mich wieder und verdeckte meinen Mund und meine Nase, sodass ich nicht schreien könne. Was? Feisty. Solche Wörter benutze ich nicht. Temperamentvoll. Du bist sehr temperamentvoll, oder? Ich fühle mich, als würde ich zusammenbrechen. Der letzte Versuch, mich zu befreien, was? Warte, oh mein Gott, das ist so ein langer Satz, wieso? Ach so, im letzten Versuch, mich zu befreien, griff ich nach dem Arm des Mannes und bewegte ihn gerade so, dass ich ihn beißen konnte. Au! Der Mann schrie vor Schmerz und sein Griff lockerte sich. Ich hörte ihn herumfluchen, als ich weglief. Ein paar Minuten später realisierte ich, dass ich in die falsche Richtung gelaufen bin. Du dumme Nudel, wo ist deine Orientierung? Aua, jetzt habe ich mich ich habe mir wehgetan. Verdeckte er meinen Mund und meine Nase. Erinnert so ein bisschen an, schnupper mal an dem Tuch, ob das nach Chloroform riecht. Ist so, genau das. Wirklich, ich habe automatisch an der Szene irgendwie an Detektiv Conan denken müssen. Ah, das hat wehgetan. So. Nicht lange und ich kam in einer Sackgasse an und ich hörte den Mann mich erreichen. Ich formuliere das mal so, weil ja, guckt mal, wer da ist. Ja, wen sehe ich denn hier vor mir? Komm mal, ich küsse Füße. Ich schaute zu Karma hinauf, der auf dem Dach stand, in einer Verkleidung mit einem Schwert und einem breiten Grinsen auf seinem Gesicht. So, in seiner Verkleidung, oder? In seiner weiblichen Verkleidung da wahrscheinlich, wenn er sagt, Madam. Miss, darf ich Miss sagen? Oder muss ich Mrs. sagen? Madam? Madame? Frau. Du könntest dich verletzen, wenn du mit einem Schwert spielst. Vielleicht legst du es weg. Ich liebe Karma so sehr, ich schwör's. Das ist einfach, Karma und ich haben uns gefunden. Was ist denn das, Sir? Fühlst du dich etwa von mir bedroht? Das solltest du wohl. Karma sprang runter. Karma sprang runter und oh mein Gott. Er hob sein Schwert in seine Richtung. Also dieses Mannes. Da hinten der, ne? Seine Augen waren wütend. Und Leute, meine Güte. Wo bedeutet dieses eine Wort, das viertletzte, fröhlich? Fröhlich ist für mich auch happy. Ich weiß nicht mal, wie man das ausspricht. Jovial wahrscheinlich. Personality, achso, und seine einst fröhliche Persönlichkeit verblasste. Jeder, der eine Lady angreift, muss für seine Taten büßen. Ja, Frauen und Schwerter, schlechte Kombination. So viele Schnitte, wie ich schon versorgen musste. Und dabei waren es nur Gemüsemesser. Tja. So. Karma ging nach vorn. Bewegte sich schneller, als ich mit meinen Augen verfolgen konnte. So, obwohl er... Also heute schaffst du mir viel Stoff für Clips. Mein Gott, ich habe zu lange kein Cinderella Phenomenon gespielt. Ich kämpfe so krass mit der Übersetzung. Das ist doch Katastrophe. Ich habe den Kampf hier momentan mit meinem Cuttermesser. Das ist gerade mein Endgegner. Oh mein Gott, ey, wirklich. Was ist denn jetzt gerade los? So. Ja, so. The glint. Was ist jetzt glint? The glint of the sword causes the man to fall backwards. Loosening his grip on me. Glitzern. Das Glitzern des Schwertes sorgte dafür, dass der Mann nach hinten fiel. Und sein Griff um mich lockerte sich. Ich schritt zurück von dem Mann und beobachtete Karma, wie er die Spitze des Schwertes an den Hals des Mannes richtete. Jetzt habe ich ein Schwert und du nicht. Willst du wirklich dein Glück austesten, Sir? Wollen Sie, ne? Wenn deine Karma chillen will, kein Problem. Was? Dann komme ich vorbei. Ich komme nicht allein, denn ich habe Stoff und... Mann, kommt mir doch nicht immer mit den Liedern. Ich kenne die Lieder doch alle gar nicht. Ah, meine Nase. Wartet mal kurz, ich muss gerade meine Nase jucken. Die ist gerade hardcore am Eskalieren. So, jetzt habe ich noch ein bisschen rote Nase. Aber sie juckt nicht mehr. So. Das ist es nicht wert. Huch. Wie ist das denn gerade eben passiert? Mann, oh Mann, oh Mann. So. Der Mann rannte weg und ließ mich und Karma in der Gasse allein. Was ist? Was ist? Du sahst ein paar Sekunden zuvor noch sehr viel übermütiger aus. Langsam atmete ich aus vor Erleichterung. Prinzessin! Also ich muss schon sagen, ne? Mit Karma fühle ich mich ein bisschen sicherer als mit Woods. No offense, Walls, aber ich fühle mich mit Karma ein bisschen sicherer. Ja, Walls haut auch einfach ab. Ich bin gerade am Überlegen. Walls kam aus der Richtung, in die der Mann verschwand. Und hast du den, Ach, Sylvie, wie hieß nochmal, was war nochmal Coward? Toll, nein. Feigling. Und hast du den Feigling auf deinem Weg hier gesehen? Ich rannte in einen Mann, der aussah, als würde er vom Tod weglaufen. Frag mich doch nicht, wenn du doch googelst. Ich fühle mich verarscht. Ich weiß ja nicht, ob du dabei, also ob du aktiv da bist oder auch andere Sachen tust. Oh. Also, sorry, heute bin ich anscheinend echt auf Kriegsfuß mit Englisch, ne? Ah. Oh je, jetzt fühle ich mich aber so seltsam vollendet. Was das auch bedeuten soll? Naja. Karma und Waltzes Stimmen. Okay, okay. Mayday, Mayday. Wir fallen gerade in Ohnmacht. Ich fühle mich so müde. Baff. Prinzessin! Prinzessin! No! Noch bevor ich zu Boden fiel, fühlte ich, wie Arme mich zurückzogen. Karma! Dora! Hey Jenny, wieso übersetzt du das Game denn überhaupt? Ist es nicht angenehmer, es einfach vorzulesen? Ja, schon. Ich weiß auch nicht, warum ich das nicht übersetze. Irgendwie, ich habe das die letzten Mal... Okay. So, ab jetzt, Leute, ich übersetze nicht mehr. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, stellt Fragen in den Chat. Punkt. So kommen wir wahrscheinlich auch schneller durch. Ich muss gerade ein bisschen Licht anmachen. So. Okay. Ach, wenn Dora es sagt, dann hörst du auf den Tipp. Ist klar. Nee, ich habe das letzte Mal, glaube ich, auch gemacht. Zum Ende hin. Aber, ich glaube, ich bin dann wieder umgeswitcht, weil ich das so vorher die ganze Zeit so gemacht habe. You know? So, okay. Rest easy, Princess Jenka. Dann übe ich jetzt mal noch meine englische Aussprache. Ja, so nach gestern ist es eigentlich angenehm, nicht zu übersetzen. I close my eyes and fall into blackness. Sie hebt ab. Nicht hält sie am Boden. Ging das nicht so? When I wake up, Annis is setting a tray of food down on my bedside table. She does not notice as I rise slowly from bed. Annis. Oh, Princess, you're up. We were worried about you. Lady Laura and Lady Parfait said you were just out because of shock, but still. How long have I been asleep? Just a few hours, Princess. Don't worry about chores, ne? Household chores. For now. Lady Delora says that if you're feeling better later, you can use Mr. Broom. Mr. Broom! Mr. Basin! Just thinking about using Mr. Broom gives me a headache. Where are Karma and Waltz? Waltz is scouting the town looking for the man that captured you. And Karma? I think he might be in his room, Princess. He's got petrol tonight, so he's resting a little bit. If he has petrol tonight, then that must mean he was resting this morning too. Aber dennoch war er in der Stadt und hat sie... Ich habe das Gefühl, wir wurden von ihm beobachtet. How did he know I needed help? Do you need anything, Princess? No, I'm going to visit Karma. Was? Sylvie, was? Weil ich diese Schlussfolgerung gezogen habe, weil Waltz hat doch auch gesagt, er fühlt sich so ein bisschen beobachtet. Das ist nicht sonderlich romantisch, beobachtet zu werden. Ja, was ist, wenn Karma sich einfach nur so große Sorgen macht um andere und nicht nur um sich selbst, was ja auch Teil des Fluches ist, ne? Also ist ein Fortschritt. Dann ist das doch eigentlich gut. Und ich meine, für uns Obsessive, ja, ist doch scheißegal. No, I'm going to visit Karma. What? To thank him? However, he knew if Karma hadn't been there, things would not have ended so well. Karma darf alles, haben wir ja schon festgestellt. Ja, Karma darf einfach alles. Yes. That's sweet, Princess. Oh, Lady Laura wants to talk to you about what happened when you're feeling up to it. Okay. I wait until Alice leaves the room before I follow after her. Ich habe das Gefühl, wir wurden von ihm beobachtet. Niemand hat die Absicht, andere zu beobachten. Hauptsache, mein Chai Latte ist schon hier komplett kalt. It is only after I exit my room that I realize I do not know where Karma's room is. Oh. Alice must have assumed that I already knew, with us being partners and all. It's fine. I do not need Annie's assistance for this. I can find Karma's room on my own. Daher finden wir jetzt noch gleich Sachen heraus. Schwierig. Oh. Wartet mal kurz. So. So sieht das ein bisschen heller aus. So. It takes me some time, but eventually I find a room with his name on the door in careful, flowery letters. Oh my god. It suits him. It does. It does. I simply open the door without thinking to knock. Wirklich knockig. Ja! Ja! Augenschmaus! 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 I expected to find Karma lying in bed, but instead he is standing in front of a mirror changing his clothes. Also wenn das jetzt kein Clip wird, kaum sieht Jenny nackte Haut, dreht sie ab. Jupp. So steht's um mich. Egal, also ich meine, jetzt kannst du auch in das Zimmer reingehen. Ich meine, jetzt gibt es nichts mehr, was du nicht gesehen hast. Prinzessin? Jetzt, siehst du, das passiert automatisch. Das passiert automatisch, dass ich ins Deutsche übersetze. Jenny, du gehst ja mehr ab als ich bei meinen Sims. Ja. 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 Wobei, gestern bin ich auch ziemlich abgegangen. Und ich habe mich echt unterdrücken müssen, ne? So, Princess. Oh. I do not think I have ever seen a shirtless man before. Oh, sogar das erste Mal. Du. Oh, indeed. oh, indeed. He turns to me and the realization that he is standing there just in his pants hits me hard in the stomach. Nicht nur in the stomach, too. My face feels incredibly uncomfortable warm. Ja klar. Why are you just standing there? Put on your clothes. Ja, das hat man gemerkt. Was sind das für süße Emotes? Süß. And then I noticed the large tattoo on his chest. It is a rose ensnared by many vines. I stare at it for a few moments before Karma puts a hand there to conceal it. It's rude to come into a ladies' room unannounced, you know. Wenn man Jenny in real life trifft, einfach den nackten Mann machen. Ich bin all in hier, Leute. Friese Haut. Friese Haut. Friese skin. Kama slips his usual dress on carefully over his head and then approaches me. I take a step back without realizing. So. Kama raises an eyebrow and then smiles at me mischievously. It is a familiar look, but it rattles me more now than it ever has before. Ja klar, also jetzt Herz gibt a beat, oder was? My princess, you're as red as a tomato. Are you okay? Freeze out. Freeze out. Oh, guck mal. Sie kann blushen. Sie kann blushen. Da unten, da, das Girl. Oh Mann. Oh Mann, okay. Does this man always need to point out the obvious? I'm fine. There's no need to shout, darling. Now, what did you come here for? To me? To see me, the beautiful Karma? Blushen? Bitte was? Ja, sie wurde halt rot im Gesicht. Das nennt man Blushen. Does everything always have to revolve around you? Well, you're breaking into my room. I'm barely able to stifle a sigh. Well? I cross my arms and frown at him. His smile makes it harder to get my next words out. Die ist voll gefangen in seinem Charme, ey, ohne Witz. I came here to thank you. Oh. Do my do my ears deceive me? What did you say, princess? Princess? Thank you for saving me. I saw you fight back. That was very admirable. Oh God. That was a very admirable attempt. You saw me? Yes. As you were coming to the end of the LA way. But I didn't manage to escape. It doesn't matter, princess. You certainly made the effort. But I digress. What? You're quite welcome, princess. It was my pleasure. I should leave. 9. Wait, what? I turn to leave, but Karma grabs my hand and pulls me back. But princess, don't you owe me something? LA way. LA way. Können wir auswählen und einen Kurs aufdrücken? Ich wär ready. Ich wär ready. So Karma was expecting something in return after all. I should have known. I think you owe me an apology. You did come into my room unannounced after all. What is he talking about? Bro? Since you broke into my room, I demand you help me with my makeup. Oh, then I will forget your transgression. Ah, your makeup? Yes, darling. I thought you were resting because you were going on patrol tonight. Resting? Nonsense. I have much to do. My makeup earlier was so messy that I washed my face in order to reapply it. I cannot believe I'm going to agree to this. Fine. Ah, what a splendid day today is. Come, princess, let's do this by a mirror. Kama pulls me over to the mirror where I can see both of our faces reflected. He has a surprising variety of makeup on the dresser beside him. I do not even care that much for my appearance? Yeah. Why am I helping Kama with his makeup? Tja. Now, which feature on the face do you think is the most important one to highlight, princess? What? What are your eyes attracted to most on a person's face? When they're laughing, when they smile. Why is he asking me for my opinion on something so trivial? If someone was smiling, the first feature I would look at on their face would be... So Leute, da muss ich nicht mal weit denken, weil ich bin ein Augengeier. Ich bin ein Augengeier. Ich gucke immer zuerst auf die Augen. So, ja, so. Augengeier. Geiler. Nee, Augengeier. Ein Augengeier. You always look at a person's eyes first, so the eyes. Eyes are the mirrors to your soul, as they say. Deswegen. Does that mean you always look into my eyes, princess? Absolut. The minute he says that, I look into his eyes. Karma flutters his eyelashes at me, and I look back down and grumble. What was that? A trick? Made you look. What did you think? Think? Of my eyes. Do they draw on you? Do they draw you in? Yeah, I have never looked at Karma's eyes closely, but now that he keeps talking about them, I cannot help but look closer. His eyes are pretty... His eyes are a pretty color. You don't have to answer that, princess. I'm just kidding. Of course. Your eyes, on the other hand, are beautiful. You and Rumple really are the same person. You both spout nonsensical compliments. Was war Grumble noch gleich? Schreibt man das so? Hab nicht geguckt. Grumble, das ist, in dem Kontext habe ich es verstanden, aber murren. Murren, also murren halt. Nonsensical? Oh, princess, I'm so offended. I mean, what I say, unlike that fool. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things. Fine. Just don't make me look like a clown, princess. I know how much you, Was? I know how much you like to tease me, doesn't tut so viel. But I need to get out of here quickly today. If you need to leave quickly, shouldn't you do your makeup yourself? And miss the opportunity to have you help me? Nonsense. If I can, I'll have you help me with my hair some other time. The way you do yours is beautiful. Ooh. I always put effort into my hair, as mother always emphasized the importance of looking like a princess. Ich muss gerade mal was ändern hier. So. So, und dabei sehen ihre Haare null aus wie die einer Prinzessin. Ist so. Ist so, ne? So null. Wirklich. Ich finde Karmas Haare schöner gemacht. But I have never received a compliment on my hairstyle before. Ja, warum auch? Karma gives me his makeup supplies and I start layering the color on his face. When we are this close, I cannot help but carefully inspect every one of his features. I do not think I even did something like this with mother. You know, princess, I don't think I deserve your thanks. I pause and raise an eyebrow at him. What? You've been helping me for a while and I haven't helped you with your curse at all. What I did today was just coincidence. Coincidence? I heard you went to town with Waltz and so I followed you too. Habe ich doch gesagt. Habe ich doch gesagt. I only happened to catch what happened in the alleyway. You managed to see me even when there were many other people who didn't? I have good eyes, probably. Probably? It is not like you to be so humble. Jenka, I am once again offended. And why were you following us in the first place? You said you were too tired to go into town today. Oh, meine Nase. I was worried. It was strange not accompanying you today. Habe ich doch gesagt, oh mein Gott, ich kann das so gut lesen. Und ich habe das Gefühl, ich sitze so weit unten. Dabei sitze ich gar nicht so weit unten. Jetzt ist besser. Jetzt sitze ich wieder ein bisschen weiter oben. Jetzt sehe ich nicht mehr so aus, als würde ich im Stuhl liegen. So. Worried? Why would you be worried? Kama looks puzzled for a few moments. He glances at himself in the mirror solemnly, then shrugs. Intuition, perhaps. Waltz mentioned something about feeling watched. Is there something that Waltz and Kama are watching out for that I am not? Das wird langsam echt gruselig. Das wird langsam richtig gruselig. Kama closes his eyes momentarily and I take the opportunity to dust his eyes with eyeshadow. He does not seem to mind. Princess, you haven't spoken about what happened today with Delora or Parfait, have you? No, not yet. You came to thank me first? Yes. Oh. Kama falls into silence and I continue to work, sweeping blush on his high cheekbones. Princess, do you know anything about the man who tried to drag you away today? No. He only said that he worked for the king before telling me he would take me back to the palace. I wonder how he recognized you. I was wondering that myself. How curious and alarming. The only ones who should pose a problem at this time are witches. Witches? What do they want to do with me? Well, I only mean that witches are the only ones who can see through our curses. So that man spoke with a witch? It's possible. But why? Why would the witches want me back at the palace? Or was that man trying to lead me somewhere else? I suppose either way the man couldn't have wanted to bring me back to the palace for a good reason. Is it possible that a witch gave a commoner a description of you? But then why would... Kama stops talking and looks up at me with something like sympathy. Sorry, I'm just running my head for ideas. Are the witches really so dangerous? And what do they want with me in the first place? Rest assured, Princess, we will figure this out. I nod my head slowly. I have a lot of questions for Delora and Parfait. But it is possible that even they might not know everything. I will need to think of my own as well, just in case they decide to keep more of their secrets. I look at Kama and shake my head. Next time I will be more wary. I won't let myself be caught unaware. Before I realize it, Kama has his hand on my cheek and is staring at me solemnly. His eyes are as cold and unmoving as steel. Princess, there won't be a next time. Ich weiß. Weil du da bist. That's what I said. Next time I'll make sure that you're definitely not alone. Ach, mein Herz und Karma, ne? 1, das ist 1. Had I been alone today, I might have actually been kidnapped. I know that, but I cannot show weakness. I just need to be more cautious. I'm not some damsel in distress, you know. Having someone at your back is far more comforting. Even on a battlefield, knights fight better together. What's wrong? Nothing. He moves his hand away from my face and stands up, sighing. His eyes look suddenly distant and his posture is stiff. I think we're about done here, right? I haven't finished your makeup, though. Wait, why am I even concerned about that? Oh, sometimes simple is better. Or would you like me to sit back down? I do enjoy being pampered by you, Prince. I take it back. We're definitely done. Good. Thank you for your hard work. In an instant, the mood changes and a bright smile once again graces Karma's face. As much as I hate to do this, I'm going to have to leave you, darling. I have business in town and then a petrol later tonight. I probably won't see you for the rest of the day, but ich kann auch mitkommen. Thank you. He is thanking me for putting on his makeup. It was such a small thing. You're welcome. You already thanked me, though. Well, now you can tell I'm twice as thankful as the normal person. That doesn't make any sense, but it's Karma. A lot of the things he says does not make any sense. Oh Mann, irgendwie, das Oberteil ist mir viel zu eng. I leave the room with Karma and he leaves the taverne as I go to find Parfait and Delora. The two of them are seated together in the reception, speaking in hushed voices when I arrive. They both pause to look up at me as I walk into the room. Well, well, if it isn't the princess. Took you long enough to come to see us. Ennis told us you were unharmed. We're glad to see you safe, Princess. Ich bekomme hier gleich einen Anfall. Mein Stift schreibt auf dem Schmierpapier, aber nicht auf dem richtigen, obwohl es das gleiche Blatt ist. Frech, einfach frech. Das ist komisch. Wobei Schmierpapier ist ein bisschen rauer von der Oberfläche als normales Papier. Normales Papier ist ein bisschen glatter. So how about telling us what happened? When prompted, I tell them everything that transpired in the alleyway. The two listen and only exchange a solemn glance when I'm done. Do you know something about all of this that I don't? Why would the witches be after me in the first place? Ich muss gerade mal was einstellen hier. Warum wird denn der auch aufgezeigt? Ich wollte das gerade ausstellen. Mann. Nee, mein Schmierpapier ist dasselbe Blatt wie das, auf dem ich schreibe. Abgestimmter Rest eben. Ach so. Oh ja, dann, du, keine Ahnung. Dann weiß ich das nicht. You remember what we said about the Tenebrarum corrupting witches? Well, those witches don't like seeing curses broken. They meddle where they can because they can. That is why I cast a glamour on you when you arrived here so that you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you. Oh, okay. To protect me? I feel like there's more to this that they are hiding, but I do not think any amount of convincing will get them to say anything. Forgive us, Princess. We're not entirely sure what's going on either. Though it was a human that captured you, he must be working with the witches somehow. Troublesome, to say the least, but we don't know the details yet. Give us some time to figure things out. Until we figure out who that man is and who he is working for, you need to have an escort with you out of the margin at all times. Do you understand? And once you figure it out, you will tell me? The two exchange another look, which only makes me more frustrated. They are obviously keeping secrets, and right in front of me. And that hat irgendwie gefehlt. We'll tell you once everything falls into place. Don't worry, Princess. We would never let you be put in any danger. Sie ist mir zu hoch angesehen. Irgendwas stimmt mit der nicht. Neben ihrem Charakter. Wohlbemerkt, ne? Neben ihrem Charakter stimmt was nicht mit ihr. The silence is what ends our conversation. I make my way back to my room, feet heavy. I feel like a fly caught in a spider's web. I try my best to clear my mind as I return to my room. Hä? Was war das denn? Okay, wir machen eine kurze Pause. Ich möchte jetzt erstmal meinen kalten Tee austrinken. So. Ich hätte gerade Laune für ein Nickerchen, werde gerade mega müde. Ich bin gerade auch so ultra müde. Aber wenn ich auch so zum Beispiel nach draußen gucke, dann ist es halt auch so, der Himmel ist so leicht rötlich. Und es wird langsam ein bisschen dunkel. Das ist so die Zeit, wo ich so denke, ja, ein Nickerchen wäre echt gut. Ich glaube, ich weiß auch nicht, wie lange ich noch mache. Aber ich werde auf jeden Fall danach ein Nickerchen machen, weil ich bin kaputt. So wirklich kaputt. So ein Stündchen Schlaf wäre fein. Ja, für mich wahrscheinlich eher. Bei mir wird es wahrscheinlich auch auf eine Stunde kommen. The days go by slowly, and I make no progress with my curse. Karma is busy with the knights today, and Laura and Parfait are busy talking with Rumpel about his curse in his room. Tonight is the perfect night to go and wander the town by myself. I need to see if I can find out anything about the witches and what is happening around the kingdom. Wir sind Omis, absolut, wir sind voll die Omis. Delora and Parfait are not going to tell me anything, and no one has wanted to take me out of the margin since the kidnapping attempts. These thoughts spiral helplessly in my mind as I sit at a table. I have just finished working for the day, and the activity in the margin is beginning to wind down. Wind down? Garland stands at the door as the last few customers leave the margin. Durian is walking around the room to make sure that there are no problems. Schon wieder der gleiche hier. Direkt der hier. Out of the corner of my eyes, I notice two men pause halfway across the room to glance back at her. I can overhear their words from where I am. Shame that she's a knight, eh? Immer die gleichen Modelle. Ja, immer. Ist so. Das nervt langsam. She's the proud type, too proud to let a man dote on her. Bleeding shame indeed, but do you think if I try to say something to her, you too? You too! So. Garland is suddenly standing behind the two men, and uncharacteristically dark glare on his face. Da fehlen Wörter gefühlt. Is there a problem? Doors are closing for tonight. I'm going to ask you to please leave. Hätte ich mal so viele verschiedene Stimmenlagen auf Lager, dann wäre das, glaube ich, viel entspannter. No need to be so uptight, lad. We're on our way out now. The two men walk out and Garland stands in the middle of the tavern area glaring after them. Ich kann ja schon immer reden hier. He more or less pushed them out of the tavern. If Ennis had seen that, she'd probably have scolded him. Garland. Können die sich nicht endlich mal aussprechen? Dann wäre Friede, Freude, Eierkuchen zwischen denen. You okay? Of course. Garlic ist aber auch so possessive über Julian. Schlimm, ehrlich schlimm. Ja, Garlic vor allem, ne? You think you can fool me? I've known you long enough to know that something's bothering you. Irgendwo? Von wo? Ah, hier. Zack. Irgendwas hat mich gerade eben gekitzelt. So. Oh, tut mir leid. Nisa. Neither of the knights seem to notice me here. If they do, they ignore me. Julian is still looking insistently at Garland, who looks down at the floor. Is he going to say something to her? Garland says nothing, though. He looks at a loss for words. Finally, Julian reaches out and pokes his shoulder, and he looks up, startled. Still the same as always, the silent, watchful night. Only says things with certainty when he knows they're the truth. Ach, diese THs bringen mich um. Wirklich. So. Even the princess is waiting for you to say something. Both knights turn to look at me and Garland seems surprised. I raise an eyebrow at him and he hurriedly looks away. Patrol is starting soon. I'll head out first. Okay, stay safe. Garland nods at her with a little smile before he leaves the tavern. Wie man so aussprechen mag. Going to sleep soon, princess? I was just going to head up. I stand up and get ready to move up to my room, but stop once more to look at Julian. Did you hear what those men were saying? Oh, about me being too proud or something? So she did hear them, but chose to say nothing. It doesn't bother me. They are right. I've been independent for a long time and I would never think about pledging my safety to a man I barely know. I can take care of myself. That's nice. Blunt and to the point. Julian was really admired for that honesty in the palace. The only other men I've trusted before are my fellow knights. Garland most of all, since we've always been partners. Tja, das kann doch was heißen, oder? She does not explain any further. I decide that it's for the better. The sooner everyone has cleared up, the sooner I can leave the margin. Tonight is the night I go looking for answers. Ich muss schon sagen, das ist ja Katastrophe, wie schlimm, wie müde ich bin. So, okay. Sorry, ich habe gerade irgendwie mein Fenster verloren. Heute Schluss? Nee. Wie lange bin ich gerade da? Ich bin noch gar nicht so lange da. Das ist knappe 2 Stunden. Nee, das ist... Ich kann noch, auch wenn ich schon in meinem Stuhl nach unten sinke. Ich möchte endlich vorankommen mit dem Spiel. Sorry, Karma. But I can handle myself. I'm going to prove it tonight. I may not be able to fight, but I can still be cautious enough to not land myself into trouble. Ich dachte gerade, Twitch stürzt ab. Still, I do not happen to hear much of anything as I'm exploring the town tonight. I'm sorry, ja, es kommt gar kein Ton vom Spiel gerade. Was ich ziemlich komisch finde, muss ich sagen. Aber vielleicht liegt es einfach daran, dass gerade Nacht ist. Okay, okay, ich rede jetzt wieder. Ich rede weiter, ich rede weiter. Still, I do not happen to hear much of anything as I'm exploring the town tonight. I should have brought along some kind of weapon, but then I would have had to steal a knife from the kitchen. I'm not a thief. Hours pass by. Was? Hours pass before I pass a tavern. Wie spricht man das aus? Ich weiß nicht, wie man das ausspricht. So. Tavern? Tavern. Oder wie es Google macht, Tavern. I'm sorry, okay. Hours pass before I pass a tavern. Tavern. Ja. Tavern filled with knights. Deciding that I will at least listen to what is happening at the palace, I linger by the open door and listen to what the men are saying. Jetzt kommt sogar ein bisschen Game Sound hier. I hear that young Fritz is having a hard time of it. Nein! Der gute Fritz! I feel bad for the lad. Even Sir Alcaster thinks he's gone mad. Hä? Warum kann der sich an uns erinnern? Fritz? Wir erinnern uns, wer Fritz ist. Well, he does keep talking about a princess that doesn't exist. Fritz still remembers me? But how? Ja, ist so, but how? Even his father is growing weary of his babbling. Leute, die selbst auch unter einem Fluch stehen, erinnern sich an sie. Ja, aber der steht ja nicht unter einem Fluch. Fritz. Fritz ist der ganz am Anfang uns neben einem Bild vor dem Frühstück abgefangen hat, kurz. Der hatte ja keinen Fluch. Sir Mithras forced him on break the other day. He didn't seem happy. Well, Sir Mithras, vielleicht ja doch, oder er ist eine Hexe. Oder eine Fee. Oder er ist eine Fee. Must think he's crazy too, poor Fritz. Can you keep a secret? The knights look at each other and I lean as close as I possibly can. Apparently the boys work some truth. Though Sir Alcaster doesn't quite believe it, he's looking for the daughter of the previous queen. The witch had a daughter. Ich glaube, wir sind eine Hexe. The previous queen? Are they talking about mother? How dare they call her a witch? Apparently she did, though I don't ever remember such a girl. This is Mann! This is top secret stuff. I just happened to wrestle this out of one of the lackeys looking for her. What would Sir Alcaster need this girl for? I'm assuming she's dangerous and that they want to get rid of her. Are they talking about me? I'm curious. How are we supposed to find this imaginary princess anyway? Does she have any features? Aye, they described her features. Last man who went looking for her said she wore a special pendant around her neck. Ich bin dafür, dass wir die Kette in unserem Kleidchen verstauen, also so rein. Ja, ups. I should get out of here. I turn to leave the tavern, but my cloak snags on the door and falls to the floor, tripping me up in the process. Natürlich. I end up falling halfway into the tavern, where the chatter abruptly stops. Is this... Oh, a lady. The knights that were talking approach me. One of them picks up my cloak. I attempt to grab my cloak from their fingers, but they pull it away from me and I stumble into one of them. Madam. He moves to take my hand and then he stops when he sees my face. Her face in a necklace! You think she was spying on us? Which? One of the knights grabs me by the wrist and pulls me towards him. He's far stronger than the man in the alleyway was. Ja klar, ist ja auch ein Ritter, du. Unhand me right now. I'm no witch. Then there should be no problem. We're just going to take you in, and if there's some big misunderstanding, we'll repay you ourselves, miss. No, let me go. This behavior is not fitting of a knight. Mann! Nee. Okay. Come now, miss. Let's go back quietly. Ja, wo? 10 Clips, wollt ihr mich verkackeiern? Frage ist jetzt, würde ich sie jetzt versuchen, also würde ich mich versuchen von dem Griff zu lösen und mich da wegzureißen und sowas, würde es nur dazu verleiten lassen, dass ich eventuell eine Hexe sein könnte und versuche aus der Situation rauszukommen. Aber ich habe Angst, dass ich dann, also dass sie wirklich eine Hexe ist, dass also die Mutter eine Hexe war, ne, so, und dass sie halt Hexenblut hat und so, you know. Und ja, beides ist halt kacke. Die Prinzessin ist aber auch zu blöd zum Scheißen. Sorry, Alter, wie kann man die ganze Zeit so dämlich sein? Die ist wirklich so, die ist so dämlich. Aber vielleicht bessert sich das, So, aber wir machen mal Try to Convince them. Es muss ja nicht immer alles mit Gewalt gelöst werden und sowas, ne? So. Fighting back is useless when I'm outnumbered. I have to try convincing them that I'm not who they think I am. You're mistaken, sirs. I happen to overhear your conversation, and assuming I am some imaginary princess is unreasonable. The knights look at each other. You know, she has a point. She was listening in on our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Gewalt ist bekanntlich keine Lösung. Genau. Did you not hear what I just said? I happened to overhear it. Nothing more. You were cloaked as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a sure way to draw attention to a lady such as myself. Bei so viel Gelabere muss ich echt mehr trinken hier. You know, she has a point. Kann auch was anderes sagen? Stop saying that, man. And then, ma'am, there should be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we are mistaken, we'll clear up the misunderstanding and pay you handsomely. Okay. Come on, let's take her to the palace. The knights lead me out onto the empty streets. Why? Why did I have to be so stubborn? Oh mein Gott, mein Hals. The knights continue pulling me down the path until we come to a narrow street. Everyone who sees us walks away to avoid the knights. There's fear in their eyes. But I have done nothing wrong. Dann beweis es doch einfach, dumme Nudel. Ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, we're risking our rank on this as well. I don't know, I'm suspicious of Who goes there? Huh? Man erkennt ihn auch einfach nur anhand seiner Silhouette. Ich lieb's. Ah. Ob wir gleich einen über den Deckel kriegen wegen so von Karma? I look up and notice Karma's familiar figure walking towards us. What is he doing here? And why isn't he in disguise? Sowas aber auch. Gentlemen, I ask you to unhand that woman. As a knight, I would be ashamed to be seen treating a lady so terribly. And who are you? Her husband. Finde ich gut. Ich mag's, finde ich gut. Oh mein Gott, ich krieg hier richtig gerade Druck im Kopf. Mein Blutdruck schießt gerade in die Höhe. So. Her husband, her hubby. Hi. His what? Unhand her, gentleman, or taste my blade. Sir, we were just going to take her to the palace to... I will give you on the count of 3. One knight keeps his grip on me as the other draws his sword. Sword. I'm sorry. I stare at Karma, who continues to count though the knight attacks him before his sword leaves his sheath. Karma and the knight trade blows, but it is Karma that comes out victorious. Victorious. Victorious, yeah. His blade slides past the knight's shoulder, distracting him enough to give Karma the opening he needs. Karma reaches back with his free hand to knock the knight out with a blow on the head. It may just be my imagination, but for a few moments I think I see the knight's blade glimmer across the surface of Karma's hand before he falls. The knight holding me holds up his hand in surrender. I yield, sir. It seems no matter how the situation turns out, you are dishonorable. But please, sir. Karma knocks him out and then stands beside me as he sheathes his sword. Sword! Yeah. Karma, a few moments, Jenka. Karma spends some time forcing a potion from a vial down each of the knight's throats. I watch him quietly, fearing that he might have killed them, but the knights only seem to be asleep. A potion that Parfait gave me. It will make the man forget they ever saw you. Ich habe das Gefühl, wir müssen... Also, sie muss echt beschützt werden vor ihrer eigenen Dummheit. When Karma stands again, I notice the glimmer of blood on his hand and stare. Your head! It's nothing. I'm sorry. Come on, princess. Let's go back. In dein Zimmer? He pulls me right on out. Ich hätte an Karmas Stelle absolut keinen Bock auf diese Pute. Ja. He pulls me right out onto the main street and does not let go of my hand. I cannot bring myself to speak. Karma has saved me twice now. Not only that, but this time he is injured. He says it's nothing, but his bloodied hand does not move at all. Why do I have to be so stubborn and insist I can handle myself? Tja. I do not speak for a long time. Eventually, I notice people start to stare. Though... Das ist jetzt der Fluch, der startet, ey. Though before long, the staring grows worse. Young women begin following us, giggling from behind. I turn to Karma, who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Karma. Sorry, princess, but I'm not in the mood to talk. Those girls are walking right behind us. This is his curse. Karma. Jenka, I just said I'm in no mood to talk. Did you not hear me? We are being followed. Irgendjemand schreit draußen auf der Straße rum. Wartet mal bitte. Okay, waren nur die Nachbarskinder. He stares behind us almost stupidly and then laughs hollowly when the girl sees face. They start to rush towards us, their voices rising and blending together into horrendous cacophony. Was wie? Egal. Karma's not moving, though. He looks resigned. Maybe he's too tired to realize what he wants to do. I tighten my grip on Karma's hand and pull him away, my pace quickening to a run as the girls chase after us, screaming at me angrily for taking Karma away from them. Ja, okay. Damit bin ich fein. Damit bin ich fein. Jenka, what are you doing? Getting us out of here. Jenka. I lead him through the town and into little nooks and crannies where we managed to lose some of the crowd. Karma often led me through some of these spaces as shortcuts. Waltz knew them too. Kakophonie klingt wie ein Fachbegriff für die Angst vom großen Geschäft. Ja, ich weiß nicht, wie man das ausspricht. Hast du es wieder aufgegeben zu übersetzen? Ja. Ja. Also, ich habe das Gefühl, wenn ich nicht übersetze, dann kommen wir schneller voran. Und ich möchte mich nicht noch einen Monat hieran aufhalten. Also allein das Gameplay, also die Spielzeit beträgt ja irgendwas 15 Stunden ungefähr. Und das ist dann schon ein bisschen heavy. Weil ich habe jetzt, glaube ich, schon 10 Stunden oder so und ich bin noch nicht mal, bestimmt nicht mal bei der Hälfte. Deswegen übersetze ich nicht mehr und rate einfach alles runter. Once we were alone again, I stop, falling to my knees and letting go of Karma's hand as I catch my breath. That really was a curse, having to run away from so many mindless women. That was difficult. Jenka? What? I did not mean to snap, but the tiredness is pressing on me too. You helped me out of that. Of course I did. Why would I want to be chased by a girl? You could have left me behind and gone on alone. Instead, you helped me. You helped me too. I guess I paid you back. Though, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about repaying him for saving me. I just knew that I didn't want Karma to be stuck trying to fend off all of those girls. Das könnte doch schon eine gute Tat gewesen sein. Ach, komm schon. He was right about his curse. That is terrible. I just realized something. Karma kneels down beside me and waits for me to speak. My curse has people forget me, and yours has even strangers become fascinated with you. It's almost like our curses are opposites of each other, and yet we seem so similar. My eyes widen when I realize what I just said. We are similar. We are similar, aren't we? He holds out his good hand to me, and I let him lead me back to the tavern through the abandoned alleyways. Oh mein Gott, ey, ich kann nicht mehr, ne? Ich habe schon ganz trockene Lippen. My feet are heavy, and all I want to do is sleep. But suddenly Karma is standing before me, his face grave. Jenka, I have to thank you for helping me earlier. I'm sorry I froze like that and made it more difficult on you. It was so sudden and I was so tired I had no motivation to move. Das ist aber nicht gut. Shouldn't I be thanking you? I'll accept your thanks, even though I wish you didn't have to thank me in the first place. You should not... You should not have gone out on your own when you knew how dangerous it could be for you. I'm sorry. I'll accept your apology too, because I lost sleep over this. I'm sorry. I have no words for how I feel right now. Princess. Yeah! Yeah! Karma reaches for my hand again, and this time he holds it up and kisses the back of it. No! No! Suddenly, all of my tiredness falls away. You really are a handful. But a delightful handful. I'm going to bandage this hand and then rest. We'll speak later about all of this, okay? About the blood. The bleeding stopped on its own, Jenka, but it does need to be treated. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Mein Herz, my heart, my heart. Are you sure? As sure as I can be. I don't lie, not even for the sake of a pretty lady. Karma lets my hand go as soon as we enter the margin. Hat er die ganze Zeit die Hand gehalten? And then bows politely to me before heading back to his room. I watch him go. My mind was whirling. Does he usually kiss women's hands? No, I don't think so. Chapter 6. Matchmaking. Okay. Okay. Ich will gerade mal gucken, wie viele Kapitel es insgesamt gibt. Und danach müsste ich einmal kurz pieseln gehen. Cinderella Phenomenon Chapters. Guck mal. Oh, nee. Hier, so, das. Ja. Wir haben jetzt genau die Hälfte durch. Es gibt nämlich insgesamt 10 Kapitel. Es gibt insgesamt 10 Kapitel und wir sind jetzt bei 6. Und wir machen ganz kurz Pipi-Pause. Jetzt habe ich noch Labello geholt. Es wird mir gerade ein bisschen zu trocken hier. Ja, ich trinke sofort. So. So, ich bin jetzt mal gespannt, ob wir es noch schaffen, in so einer Stunde vielleicht das 6. Kapitel durchzuspielen. Und dann würden wir cutten. Ansonsten mache ich dann halt wirklich zu 2,5 Stunden halt das Spiel fertig. Also dann hören wir mit dem Spiel auf. Damit das nicht zu lang ist. So. Oh. Okay. So, so stopp. Oh Mann. Ich meinte vorhin, sag mal, habe ich Party alleine gemacht? Ja. Nee, nicht ganz. Sylvie war noch dabei. Ach, das ist das Spiel. Wir haben ja sowieso, wir kamen gerade erst aus der Pause raus, wir haben gar nicht weitergespielt. Von daher ist es noch okay. Aber es geht natürlich jetzt sofort weiter, ne? So, seid ihr wieder bereit? You really are a handful. Man hat dich während der Party nur leider nicht gehört. Ja, weil ich wahrscheinlich zu leise war. Dann müsste ich ein bisschen näher rankommen hier. But a delightful handful. His words keep repeating in my head. I cannot stop hearing his voice and feeling his lips on my hand. Ja. Wäre es nicht schöner, wenn da stünde and feeling his lips on mine? Jetzt löse ich nichts mehr ein. My face feels warm and every time I think about his words my heartbeat feels unsteady. I really have to stop thinking about that. Karma is karma and he puts on that overly polite act with everyone. Aber du blushst wieder. But then I'm pretty sure I've never seen him do something like that with another person. Right. I'll just go downstairs and stop thinking about all of this. I need to tell Puffy and Delora what happened. Because of the time I returned to the margin yesterday, I never spoke to anyone about what happened. Maybe someone's downstairs. Someone usually is. I leave my room and make my way downstairs to the reception. Oh nein, lädst du das hoch? Ja, ich mache immer zu den Spielen eine Aufnahme. Nebenher, jetzt. Aber ist nicht schlimm. Es ist ja trotzdem immer noch ein Auszug aus dem Stream. Es ist ja nicht extra für YouTube aufgenommen so. It is quiet when I enter, but not as silent as I thought it would be. Karma is sitting at one of the tables, speaking quietly with Puffy and Delora. His injured hand is sitting on the table, bandaged. Oh nein, bandaged. No, wie spricht man das auch? Egal. I cannot help but stare at him, my heart plummeting. His injury is my fault. Ja, ist es. So you have yet to hear the entire story? No, I'm afraid I'm not quite privy to the information Walt says. Is that correct? Walt has been directly involved in this far longer than you have. What about Walt? Princess, you're up early. Ja. They all turn to look at me as I stand at the table. Karma still looks tired and is not in his dress. He looks somber but still smiles at me. Stimmt, das ist mir gar nicht aufgefallen. Ja, der muss sich jetzt erstmal ausruhen, hör mal. Jenka, how nice of you to join us. When did he start saying my name without my title? Ach, Hammer. Jenka, you've run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? I thought you would be stubbornly avoiding work. Instead, you go out of your way to get yourself into trouble. This involves me directly. How would I not be curious? You've also been irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to. I even wore a cloak to... Ja, dieses... Ah! Mein Gott! Warte mal kurz. Das war meine Mutter, die mich schon wieder gestört hat, während ich streame. Ja, das sage ich jetzt nichts zu. Oh no, the cloak. I left it at the bar. I feel a nudge at my arm and Karma is holding out my cloak. Oh, with a tired smile. Hat er den jetzt noch gestern extra geholt oder was? Och nö. Oh Mann, wie kann man so herzlich sein? You went back to get this? When? Yesterday, when you were still in bed. You've been running yourself dry these last few days, Karma. It's nothing. Doch, es ist was Großes. Thank you. What's this? Our ice princess is thanking someone? Ja, schon das wievielte Mal bitte. Why? Is that something so strange? Oh, come on. Oh, come now. She's not so icy. Jenka is more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence. Okay, confidence that has gotten me nowhere so far. Yeah, don't look so dour, Jenka. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Karma gestures toward me and I flush, unsure of what he is talking about. Then I notice Dolores' eyes are on me too. Oh, hey, do you see that? What are they looking at? I reach down to grab my necklace and then pause. I cannot stop the gasps that leaves my lips. Nein, die ist kaputt. Hey, wann ist das denn passiert? Ich dachte, da ist jetzt eins gefüllt. No. When did this happen? Princess, you didn't realize that there was an extra piece to your necklace? Hä? Hä? Warte mal. Congratulations, Princess Jenka. You're a step closer to breaking your curse. I feel proud. I only ever felt this way around Mother. She did me a great favor yesterday. If not for Jenka, I might have suffocated beneath a pile of very excited women. Women! Immer diese women, ne? Wait, helping Karma escape was a good deed? She was selfless. He's not even mentioning the injury he got protecting me? Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping. Well, kidnappings. Both of them. It looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. What do you know about this? What does Waltz know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone else knows that you don't. What everyone else knows? I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. What are you all hiding from me? Let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz might want to be here for this too. What does Waltz have to do with any of it? Be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? Okay, wir spielen jetzt so lange, bis wir herausfinden, was das ist. I have no choice but to agree when Puffy and Delora refuse to say any more, but I'm not happy about it. I spend the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern. I do a round of sweeping with Mr. Broom and mindlessly organize some of the bottles. I cannot believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. But now I'll find out the entire story. Maybe it will answer some of the questions I have. But why are they keeping things about me a secret to begin with? Delora gathers everyone in the tavern to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit in between Waltz and Karma. So we have a story to tell. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be a romance, wouldn't it? How can you stand to make comments like that constantly? How can you stand to live a lie? Boy! The two glare at each... Die zwei, ey. The two glare at each other across the table, but Laura silences them. Dolores starts with a story about the Great War. One that I have already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, witches like myself were punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Tenebrarum Bera, was a kind witch that was overtaken by the grief that our people suffered. She was driven so far into madness that she created the fairy tale curse to punish humans and make them suffer as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but by the time I thought to act, it was too late. Knowing that Delora and Parfait were involved in the Great War makes it seem more real. But wasn't the Tenebrarum Bearer killed? How can the fairy tale curse continue to spread if she's dead? I believe that the Tenebrarum Bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue powering the Tenebrarum. Dieses Wort, ne? Diese Wörter killen mich, wirklich. All to ensure that the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairy tale curse. Is none of this ringing a bell for you? What are you talking about? Wartet. So, all to ensure that the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairy tale curse. I believe that the last bit of her life to... Ich bin das! Oder was? Hä? Bin ich die Wiedergeburt? She really did erase your memories. Wartet. Wait. Erase? Wir sind eine Hexe. The witch who died, the Tenebrarum Bearer, was your mother, Princess Jenka. What? For some reason I turned to look at Karma, who's one of the only people who doesn't look away from me. I grew up outside of this kingdom, but even I knew of the terrible witch. Hildir. You expect me to believe any of this? Mother was... She wasn't a witch. I would remember that. Well, you would if you had memories of the war. And the years before that. Under Hildir's rule, the palace was a dark place. The king didn't have any real power until Hildir was defeated. That goes for the rest of us too. We were slaves to Hildir. Delora's eyes flickered to Waltz. It's the truth. Waltz knows this. Oh God, knows because he is also a witch. He experienced Hildir's comment over the witches firsthand as well. Woher kommen wir alle gesprossen, ey? Ohne Witz. Waltz is a witch? Sorry for keeping it a secret, princess. It's not as if I can use much magic anymore anyway, now when I'm cursed. This is just another secret of many. It seems everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hildir's reign, witches, fairies, and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he always truly loved. So it has always been Ophelia that he truly loved? Bin zurück. Oh mein Gott, du hast so viel verpasst! Save me! Okay, kurzes Recap. Willst du ein kurzes Recap? Oder guckst du dir das später an? Wenn es keine Umstände macht. Nee, ganz kurz. Also, Waltz ist eine Hexe. Ja, also der kleine Puppenspieler, der ist eine Hexe und wir sind auch eine Hexe, haben wir gerade eben erfahren. Und unsere Mutter war diese Tenebrarum-Wächterin da, die Hexe. Gab ja 2 Seiten und sie war wahrscheinlich die böse Seite, so gefühlt. Und sie hat im Prinzip den König gezwungen, also da zusammen zu sein, ne? Und als sie sich dann irgendwann mal geopfert hat, deswegen lebt sie halt auch nicht mehr, konnte der König auch endlich seine große Liebe, Ophelia, also seine jetzige Frau, heiraten und so. Und unsere Erinnerungen wurden aber gelöscht. Das ist so das... I'm sorry. Das ist so der kurze Recap. Sage ich doch, dass die Stiefmutter und die Stiefkinder doch eigentlich nett klingen, weil ihr die am Anfang alle so für so zickig und tussig empfunden habt. Ich habe das nur nachgemacht, so wie sie es empfunden, also die da unten da empfunden hat. So it has always been Ophelia that he truly loved. Was that the reason I never felt any love from him? Because I was my mother's daughter? He gave up on me. No, dear, I don't think he gave up on me. My voice is too loud in the reception area. I feel it crack beneath the pressure and suddenly I want to cry. But mother told me so many times not to cry. The king gave up on me. Heul einfach. But mother didn't. Mother wouldn't. Mother would tell me this was all a lie. She would tell me not to trust anyone. They must be lying. I turned to Karma. For some reason I trust him more than I trust Delora or Parfait. Ja, man. Is this the truth? I was taught the story of Hildia and her daughter Jenka. They said you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. But I don't think that's true at all. If Hildia was ice, then you most certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then what does that make me? You're a witch as well. Whether or not you were ever taught to use magic. On your upcoming birthday, you will become the Tenebrarum bearer. Do you realize how ridiculous this all sounds? Me? A witch? The king never said anything. And now I cannot even ask him if this is the truth because I'm cursed. Why would you even curse me? We didn't want a repeat of the tragedy, Jenka. I sat on your shelves for almost a year, princess. There was ice in your heart, and if you had inherited the Tenebrarum in that state, who knows what would have happened? Then why didn't you just tell me any of this? Delora and Parfait looked at each other before dropping their gazes to the ground. If we had told you before, would you have even bothered to listen? The king must have tried to do the same thing, and look how that turned out. You shut out everyone who ever tried to tell you about Hildia's true nature. That is probably true. Even now I'm having trouble believing that they are all telling me the truth. The whole world feels as if it is collapsing around me. I need to escape. I need to go out and be somewhere else. But why are the witches looking for me? You are the heir to the Tenebrarum. No doubt the evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc. Was ist havoc? In NGL with the fairy tale curse. The men that were looking for Jenka were not witches, though. They were knights. Perhaps the witches and the knights are working together? This must be part of Alcazar's scheme to steal the throne. Ey, es kommen heute so viele Sachen raus hier. Weißt du was? Schließ dich den bösen Hexen an. Fühle ich viel mehr und nimm Karma gefangen. Ja, Mann! Und dann einfach so einen persönlichen gefangen haben. Aber ich weiß nicht, also es gibt eigentlich in jeder Story immer ein gutes und ein böses Ende. Und ich möchte schon versuchen, das gute Ende anzustreben. So, for the happy ever after. So, what are you talking about? The reason why Galen and I left the Order of Caldera was because the king did not believe us about Alcaster's coup. Oh, okay. How would he know of the prince's identity though? Anyone who isn't a witch, a fairy, or isn't cursed shouldn't be able to remember her. But now we know that it is not just the witches looking for the princess, but the knights of the Order of Caldera as well. They definitely have a description of her from someone. Jenka. Komm hier gerne noch näher, ey. Karma, los. Karma reaches out a hand to touch my shoulder and I flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I want to be alone. Let her go. She'll need a lot of time to think. I leave everyone sitting at the tables as I try to process the whirling thoughts in my mind. Hildir, my mother, the only person I ever thought loved me, was the Tenebrarum. Mann, Tenebrarum hört sich besser an. Das ist Tenebrarum. A bearer, a witch, the first witch to kill a human. The witch that started the fairy tale curse. All this time I thought mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? I stay in my room for a long time trying to process everything I have been told. Schon wieder Päuschen. Days go by before I decide to leave the tavern again to watch Karma practice with the knights. These last few days I felt hollow. Maybe seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Maybe it will make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing in the clearing. He's staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. Mir gefällt es, dass wir den jetzt in letzter Zeit ziemlich oft in seiner männlichen Kleidung sehen. Jenka. I prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to mind. I have not spoken to Karma since the talk about mother and witches, and any of the ease I felt with him before has slipped away. Still, I came here on my own, and I cannot just stand here being mute. I say the first thing that comes to mind. Where are Jury and Garland? I only train with Garland. Jury is on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. He just came early. It seems you did too. Jenka, are you okay? I'm sorry I haven't been by to see you. It is not as if you owe that to me. I don't owe it to you, but I truly wanted to. I've just been busy these last few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me, why would you ever have wanted to pair up with someone like me anyway? Why, princess? That's because I'm bitter and cold. I'm bitter and cold, and even though I want to change, all I can think about is myself. But now I want to change because I do not want to be the same as my mother. Isn't that selfish? Maybe so, but I believe you are being selfish for the right reasons. An entirely selfless person can't survive in this world. Before we can make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. Das ist gut gesagt. Happy ourselves? Yes. An angry person holds resentment towards everyone, and it masks whatever good deeds they seek to do. That is why I cannot complete my good deeds. Wrong. You've already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing, Jenka. Regardless of the motivation, you're trying to become a better person. That is what matters. He takes a step towards me. Mich triggert ist, dass da nie towards. Also da fehlt das S. Then puts his hand on my shoulders and leans down until I can look right into his eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. It is never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. What? How could I have taught Karma anything? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Jenka? He's standing too close. Sorry, aber... ich bleibe so nah stehen. Mir gefällt seine Nähe. With his face so close, all I can do is stare right into his eyes. Karma's hands tighten on my shoulder, and for a few moments I feel a slight panic rising in my chest. Then Karma steps away from me with a rough shake of his head. Karma? Next time I do that, Jenka, feel free to push me away. Nein, nein, ich war fein damit. Hör mal, ich war fein. What? It's better that way. Nein, finde ich nicht. What does he mean by that? You never answered. Will you listen to my story? All right. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a crowned prince from a kingdom called Brigantia. Brigantia? Das ist wahrscheinlich er. Dann ist er Kronprinz und ich bin Prinzessin. Brigantia is one of the neighboring kingdoms, so this isn't make believe. Was? His name was Ernsthaft? His name was Claude, Adric, Rinaldi, Matthias, Almonte. But because the name was such a mouthful, he settled for an acronym as a nickname, at least around the palace where it was acceptable. Arma? Claude, Adric. Karma? Warte. Karma. Was habe ich denn gerade eben gelesen? Claude, Adric, Karma? Ich wusste es doch. Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talents to all that he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Prince Claude was a selfish man who felt he was entitled to everything that he had. Entitled. Ja, hab ich doch gesagt. He was vain and often left his castle unattended so that he could avoid his responsibilities. Then, one day, he chanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square. He led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. And then, at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. She agreed, but their time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object and broke the woman's heart. And she cursed him. Interesting. Interesting. That beautiful maiden was a witch, but Prince Claude found out too late. The witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make even beauty a curse. Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He has been gone for nearly a year now, and must probably assume he is dead. But in truth, the prince had come to Angel seeking a way to break his curse. He had heard of a young lady named Jenka who, on her 18th birthday, could dispel any curse. Wir können sowas? Wir können sowas? Okay. Karma. He looks so sad. I don't know how to comfort him. Claude? Er blusht. Karma. Claude, ne? Claude. Turns startling red startling red as he stares at me, and for a few moments he does not speak. Then he bursts out laughing. I stare at him in shock, not understanding his reaction. I feel myself flush. Isn't that your real name? No, darling, it is. But hearing you say my name, well, it sounds so much softer out of your lips. I rather like it. What the fuck? My cheeks are warm again. How is it that he is always able to make me feel this way? Tja, das nennt sich Liebe, baby. I will call you by that name if that makes you happy. Let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here. Besides, I'd rather you kept that name for my ears only. It makes me feel more special that way. More special? At that moment, Garland shows up for practice and Claude politely excuses himself. I watch the two of them trade blows. Claude favors his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with his injury. The more Claude tells me, the more I realize that he's like me, a noble cursed for being selfish. Jo, kann man so sagen, ne? But how do I help break his curse? Why can't he tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Claude asks Garland the usual question. Have you confessed to Jurian yet? Garland only shakes his head in reply. The two men sheath their swords. Garland looks almost sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her and yet he won't say anything. Why is that? Frustrating me so much. Wirklich. Garland. Yes, Princess? Wir wissen aber etwas, was er nicht weiß. Warum kann ich nicht höher gehen? Hallo. So. So. Claude told me before that confessing is hard, but what Garland is going through looks even harder. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you think you're incapable, but if you never say anything to her, you'll never know. If I say something wrong, I risk losing everything that I already have with her. And if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have with her. Ist so, das ist so zwiespältig. Mein Güte. Wir haben eine richtige Entscheidung getroffen, glaube ich. Aber wir wissen ja was er nicht weiß. Und zwar, dass Jurian damals, als wir abends als wir da mit diesen zwei Boys da, die da waren, diese zwei Gäste, ne? Da hat sie doch gesagt, dass sie nur ihren Partnern, also da ihren Kriegern da vertraut und davon am meisten aber ihm. Also, und die hat doch auch gesagt, sie würde niemandem Fremden vertrauen, also ihr Leben vertrauen, aber ihm halt, also im Prinzip denen halt schon und dann insbesondere ihm. Das heißt doch, perfekt, Match, it's a match. Jenka is right. Maybe you should really tell her, Garland. But before, Claude was adamant that Garland shouldn't confess to Jurian. What changed? If I mess this up, let's try looking at it through another lens. Imagine that Jurian is Jenka. How do you think she would like to be confessed to? Ich glaube, das ist ein sehr schlechtes Beispiel. Das ist ein sehr, sehr schlechtes Beispiel, Karma. I frown at the two men, arms crossed. Excuse me? Well, you and Jurian are very similar. You're both very straightforward. Confess to the princess? My eyes move to Claude, but only fleetingly before they are once again on Garland. You just need to do something simple, Garland. Something that will not rub her the wrong way. A maiden's heart is ever fragile, and each woman is different. Claude is wearing an amused smile on his face, but he's looking at me, not Garland. I feel my face flush and have to look away. Jenka, your tomato red again. It's adorable. I cross my arms over my rapidly beating heart again and force a scowl on my face. No, I was just thinking about what Galen could do. Something simple, like when Karma kissed my hand, Galen kissing Julian's hand is probably not a good idea. Ich glaube auch nicht. Maybe he could do what Claude and I did that one day in town. He can buy her some food and they can just talk. Galen, have you ever just asked Julian out for food? Not alone. Julian is practical and she always eats at the tavern. She's also always on duty if she's available. Available? I don't know. I'll take her patrol shift tonight. Ach so, okay. I'll take her patrol shift 2 nights from now then. And tomorrow you can ask her out for a meal. Ich find's toll, was wir hier gerade tun. We can make your invite a grand affair. We can drape banners on the walls or I could give you a rose. That sounds like a terrible idea. I am offended. I feel like if I did something like that for Julian, she would get embarrassed and punch me. Sounds like another lady that I know. Also sie da hier erscheint. Claude grins at me, but I just roll my eyes. Galen, just ask her normally. And then when you are out and alone together, you can confess. And we'll make sure you have the time to do it. I'll purposefully come late to practice tomorrow night, so you can ask her out for that date. Ich liebe dieses Gespann, wirklich. Ich lieb's. How does that sound? You two really think I can do this? Yeah. You just have to ask the question. Whatever follows will at least be an answer. Tomorrow night, then. Good man. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Or I could drown. You won't drown, Galen. Galen excuses himself with a nervous smile before Claude turns to me expectantly with a mischievous grin. Now, Jenka, we'll come here early tomorrow and spy on them. We need to scope out a good spot. Come on. Spy on them? Of course, we need to make sure that our efforts pay off. I don't think we should. You don't want to see how it plays out? I mutely shake my head, unable to put my emotions into words. For some reason, I am imagining myself in Julian's position. It feels too personal. Claude's likeliness suddenly springs to mind, and I feel my face grow hot again. Jenka, you've been oddly out of it today. Claude reaches out a hand toward me, then abruptly pulls away. I stare as he smiles at me, almost sheepishly. The conversation between us dies, and we return to the margin. Schade. Manu. Days passed, and though I did not spy on the conversation between Julian and Galen, I noticed that Galen has been smiling from ear to ear during his practice with Claude recently. Voller Erfolg, ey. I can only assume that his confession went well. Oh, Galen. Ich freue mich für dich. Claude took the patrol shift tonight, and as I lie in bed, I'm restless. Every time I watch Claude practice with Julian and Galen, I'm reminded of the palace, of Fritz. I wonder how Fritz is doing. Is he still practicing with the other knights? My thoughts darken as I recall the kidnappings. Claude had to save me every single time. He got injured saving me. Unable to sleep, I slip out of bed and make my way to the reception room. The night air is cool and no one stops me from standing just outside of the margin. I cannot just sit back and do nothing anymore. I have to act. I do not want Claude to get hurt because of me again. And there he is. Eventually, I see Claude approach. He looks tired and is moving more slowly than usual, but when he sees me, his lips quirk into a smile. Jenka. What are you doing out here tonight, love? Aha, ich mag das. Also ich weiß ja nicht, was sie hat, ne? Aber ich mag's. Ich mag's. Love instead of darling. That's new. Hello, Claude. Ey, die sind sich so hardcore am Necken, ne? Dass die nichts checken. Das hat sich gereimt. Oh mein Gott, ich feiere mich viel zu sehr. Ich feiere mich viel zu sehr. Eieieiei. So. Ich muss gerade mal was gucken hier. Ja. Oh. Ich will auch. So. So. Wo ist das jetzt? So. Jetzt bin ich wieder back in the game here. His face is dark red again. If you're using my real name, I suppose you've come to ask for something serious? How could you know that? I do need to ask something of you. Well, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm right here, love. What? Oh, is this not about... never mind. I'm asking if you will be my instructor. For some reason, I seem to have caught Claude off guard. He stares at me for a few moments. What? I want to learn how to use the sword, and I want you to be my instructor. Claude's expression becomes uncharacteristically serious. I'd rather you didn't learn how to use the sword. I do not want you to have to keep protecting me. I don't mind protecting you. I do. Claude sighs and shakes his head. Princesses shouldn't be using swords. Nein, don't come mir damit hier. Komm mir nicht damit. I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. You are. I do not want you to get hurt again when I could do something about it. Teach me, please. Claude. Boah, das ist eine miese Nummer. Das ist so eine miese Nummer. Once again he flushes. It seems to be an instant reaction, and it is both amusing and endearing. Endearing? It won't be easy. I wasn't expecting it to be. Don't komm mir damit. Ja, was ist das? So, es wird langsam spät, okay? Ich kann nicht mehr so gut... Ich kann nicht mehr so gut... Jetzt hier, geht das noch schneller? Nee. Ich kann nicht mehr so gut switchen zwischen den Sprachen. Claude stares at me for a long time before finally letting out a heavy sigh. Fine, I'll train you. You won't learn in a day, but I can teach you the essentials. You can use one of the knight's training swords. Thank you. Music to my ears. Meet me in the clearing in 10 minutes. 10 minutes? What? Yeah, you said you wanted to train, so we will. Don't expect me to go easy on you. But aren't you tired? He looked exhausted when he came in, and now he wants to train? Already trying to get out of training? Der Arme, der bricht noch zusammen. I'm not. Claude shakes his head, but he's smiling. I see you there in a few minutes, love. Ich glaube, er erholt sich sehr gut, wenn er mit uns in einem Bett schlafen kann. Moonlight spills through the leaves, illuminating the forest with gentle light. Long minutes pass, and as I stand in the clearing, I begin to feel restless. It isn't like Claude to be late. Is he tending to his injury? I hear rustling in the leaves and turn immediately to see what the disturbance is, but the minute I do, I am pulled back by a strong force and my world goes dark. Before I can scream, I hear a gentle voice in my ears. Oh mein Gott, ich kann nicht mehr. Mama macht mich fertig. Und wie geht es euch so damit? Okay, das ist jetzt ins Ohr geflüstert, ne? Jetzt muss ich erstmal hier austesten. Okay, das ist jetzt ziemlich leise und ihr seht mich aus einer ungünstigen Perspektive. Aber Lesson number 1, Jenka. When apprehended by an enemy that you can't see, remain calm and use your 5 senses to judge how best to get the upper hand. Oh mein Gott, okay, ich lasse es. Das ist schon zu viel Service hier. This voice is coming from right behind me. Oh, man sieht sogar seine Hand. Seine bandagierte Hand. Claude? Ich kann mich nicht viel dazu äußern. Ich höre nur auf einem halben Ohr mit. Ich glaube, er schläft sehr gut, wenn er mit uns in einem Bett schlafen kann. Hätte nie was Hintergedanken. Nein. Claude? I become aware that this is the closest he's ever been to me, with back pressed to his chest. With my back pressed to his chest like this. Panicking, oh mein Gott, panicking disorients the mind. That is why you must remain cool under any circumstances. How could I not panic? Any normal person would panic. Still, I try to force myself to be calm. Lesson 2. Enemies will often let down their guards when they think they have the upper hand. Catch your opponent, oh my god, off guard by remaining calm and locating this weakness with your senses. I try to calm myself as Claude instructs, and I feel it is a bit easier, but only because I know it is Claude. An opening. I move as quickly as I can, stepping forward so that I can swing an elbow back at Claude's stomach. Before that happens, Claude has pulled me back to him, closing whatever distance I had put between us. Nice. Finde ich gut. In the process, he moves his hand from my eyes to my mouth. Dazu gibt es kein Bild? Schade. I can once again see the forest, but my words are muffled beneath his hand. Another thing to remember, you won't always be able to catch your enemy off guard by throwing punches or hits at them. Your opponent will usually always be stronger than you, Jenka. Remember what I said about a weakness. Enemies will often let their guards down when they believe they are winning. Just like I have. An opening? A thought occurs to me as I glance around me and then down at Carmen's bandaged hand. Oh, ups. Das war falsch. Nee, das ist auch falsch. Hä? Hier. So, oh mein Gott. Ich verliere immer unter den ganzen Fenstern, die ich offen habe. In 2 Bildschirmen nur. Alles. Carmen's bandaged hand is over my mouth. Is this an opportunity or a trick? What will you do, princess? What kind of tactic would remove you from my grasp? Was bedeutet Toppe? Stürzen. Never? Oder sollte das another heißen? Passiert mir auch häufig bei Sprachwechsel. Habe ich never gesagt? Nein. Ich habe doch gesagt another. Bei mir hört man das TH sehr, sehr schlecht raus. Manchmal hört sich das an wie ein D, also so ein D. So another. Manchmal sage ich another. Manchmal another. Also ich bin kein Fan vom TH. Beiß ihn, der steht drauf. Ja, ich hätte ihn sowieso gebissen, weil ihn stürzen kann ich allein von meiner Größe und Kraft sowieso als Frau nicht. Jetzt hat er ja vorhin sehr stark gesagt, dass die anderen immer stärker sein werden als ich. Deswegen muss man halt die Schwächen ausnutzen. Und da ja seine bandagierte Hand jetzt auf dem Mund, ja. Bei Anafa hat man einfach einen Keks zu viel im Mund. Jo. I'm going to feel terrible about this, but I have to try. Ja, das ist es. Aber ich bevorzuge beim TH immer ein S. Ja, bei mir ist es so ein Zwischending. Ich weiß nicht, das kommt mal so. I try to shift my head to get enough space to bite down, and even Cloud cannot hold me completely still as I squirm. Eventually, the hand over my mouth moves just enough for me to open my mouth, but I falter. I cannot bite the hand that I endured. Unable to do anything else, I mutely shake my head and I hear Claude groan. In one swift motion, he pushes me down to the ground, pinning my hands by my head as he frowns at me. Finde ich gut. You're not even going to try and find an opening? I glare at him. I'm not going to bite your hand. Bite my hand? I didn't even think of that. Tja. But you made it obvious. You put your hand over my mouth. I'd meant for you to try moving my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to lose. How was I supposed to know that? Ich habe wieder was Gutes getan. Es war wieder das Richtige. Ich glaube, ich komme gerade so richtig gut rein. Experience is the best means of practice, as they say. I have complained about that particular lesson, but I withhold it. That was a pretty good attempt, love, but not good enough, I'm afraid. I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that. I was expecting sword practice. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? Du kommst in Karma gerade gut rein. Well, benutzt zumindest. Nein, ich meine, ich komme gerade in das Spiel so rein, dass ich die guten Entscheidungen treffe. Das meine ich. Habe ich... Oh mein Gott. Nee, also... Oh Mann. Ich bin durch. Ich bin durch, ne? Ich bin einfach durch. Oh mein Gott, ich bin einfach durch. So. I glare up at him, unable to say anything because he is right. You're oddly quiet. It is hard to find an opening to hurt you when you are not really my enemy. He does not move, but continues to stare at me. His face is close to mine. Close enough to what? Exactly. Ja, genau to that. To that. Jenka, do you trust me to protect you? That's not the point. I need to be able to protect myself. Because you're planning on investigating the witches on your own? Ich bin durch. Was ein Spiel so alles bei dir schafft. Ja, wirklich. Nein, vom ganzen Grinsen habe ich schon so mega Schmerzen. No, I want to be able to protect myself because I do not want you getting hurt protecting me. Erst holt sie rein, dann ist sie durch. Rip Karma. Claude leans down and I can feel his hair at my cheek. For a few moments, everything slows to a stop, and all I can hear is my heartbeat and his slow breathing. Once you set your mind to something, you don't let go, don't you? Do you? Claude pulls away from me before I can respond, and he's standing again, offering me a hand. Let's get started with some sword work then. The pleasant smile is back on his face. I can never tell what he is thinking at times like these. What are you really like, Claude? Okay,